Oh, hello everyone. We're here. As I was setting up the Q&A stream this afternoon, I set up the YouTube stream and we haven't had a Q&A chatting since July 1st.
Sheesh, man. That's 21
Wow.
days.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy. We've had a crazy month, that's for sure. So, hey everyone. We're here and
Bring all your Odyssey anger. Come on, bring it on. I know you want.
well, I see the people were yearning for this because we have quite the amount of questions already streaming in here, chat. So
Already.
we're definitely going to get to those rules so we can get to the more important part, which is the questions. So first and foremost here, we give priority to the bit messages and super chats since that is some real world money spent. Towards the end of stream, sometimes we have time for highlighted questions over on Twitch or regular chat questions over on YouTube, but please save them for towards the end of stream, because if you're going to repeat your question and yourself over and over again in chat, you can get timed out or even banned if you're going to continuously do it. On the YouTube side of things, we prioritize super chats that are $5 and over. We get a large volume of questions, and this is just a way for us to prioritize and still attempt to get to those non-paid questions, because I swear we are trying to get to them. If we have time, we'll go back and read questions under the $5 super chat, but we prioritize $5 and over. Please watch the length of your question or comments. The longer it is, the faster I have to read it, the more likely it is that we're going to lose something and we don't have time to go back and figure out what you were trying to say or repeat it or anything like that. So short and to the point is better. Along those same lines, if you absolutely must break up your message into multiple parts, please keep it to 3 absolute maximum. That's just kind of where we found the sweet spot to be, where we don't have to try to figure out, how part 7 related to part 1 and where in the world you're going. So 3, please, max there. Also, please try to keep it to 1 question per bit message or super chat. Again, we have a lot of questions and a lot of people, and it doesn't seem fair if you get to ask 5 in one and other people haven't even had a chance to ask 1. That's also an easy way for your question to get missed, and we don't have time to go back and answer every single one in detail. So it's an easy way for your question to get missed, and it's just a too bad, so sad if that does happen. No spoilers. There's so much that's out there right now, and I'm so behind, okay? So just no spoilers for all of the TV shows, movies, whatever that has been coming out. Although I will specify, because I've seen people having this discourse, if we may say, on the internet right now. If it's in the trailer, it's okay to talk about, okay? The Doomsday trailer just came out, and I saw some people being like, well, you can't talk about the trailer because there's spoilers. And it's like, it's a trailer, man. If we're going to talk about the Doomsday trailer, we're going to talk about the Doomsday trailer. If you don't want to hear about the Doomsday trailer, I don't know what to tell you, but
I think it's a spoiler to even say Doomsday is coming out. I think they shouldn't even let us know. So, yeah, you should be ashamed about that, Heather. Good God. There's got to be a big surprise.
Dang. You're right. You're right. Otherwise, I think
we're good.
I
No
think
swearing.
Yeah, no swearing, Doug. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Great. Fantastic. All right. Let's get to it then. Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Blaze from Toy Story 5? For a simple character, the way she was animated and voiced made her very charming and even sweet.
I'm going to sound awful. I have to remind myself who the character is.
I haven't seen the movie, so I can't remind you of who Blaze is. I'm sorry.
Oh, that was the other girl. Okay. Yeah. No, I thought I like the way they. So I feel like in any other sort of animated film or show or anything like that, because the girl's really into horses, she's on like a ranch with horses and stuff like that, most would make it where she'd be really popular because of that, and it actually kind of sets her apart a little bit. Not that kids are making fun of her or anything, but there is like a slight disconnect. But she's not necessarily like, the same type of awkward that the main kid in the movie is. So I thought that was very clever. I grew up on a farm and in Seattle years back, and it was one of those things where we always saw it as pretty cool and clever. People saw it as cool, but there was There is a slight disconnect there. So the fact that when she does have to connect with another kid that you see at the end, there is a slight awkwardness there, and you kind of get it. You can connect the dots there. So I thought that was a nice, subtle bit of storytelling there. That I'm not gonna act like if you whatever our girl and the horses, you're weird. No, that's like a lot of girls. But the
I was
fact that you're growing up
chosen
on a
today.
ranch, that you're more connected to that than maybe like what other kids are into and stuff. I did feel like that was kind of a clever addition.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you rather bring back 90s cool kid slang or bring back early Y2K fashion?
Oh boy, I hated both so much. Probably the Y2K fashion because at least it was a little out there and weird. At least, no, I was gonna say some of it's also a little, especially like what they're putting some of the younger kids in and stuff like that. But at, at the same time, I'm like, does every time period do that? Maybe not. Probably not. No, especially like the Victorian era doesn't do that. But it's one of those things where kids always want to be more like adults and stuff like that. So certainly at the time, I was younger, so I'm like, I don't care. And then looking back as an adult, I'm like, oh, there's this like documentary I saw on Victoria's Secret where they were talking about the creation of something called pink, and I never knew what that was. And then when they show it, it's very ewy, and I think that is early 2000s. So yeah, maybe I will take the cringy slang the more I think about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I am so excited for Avengers Doomsday. Last year, after 4 failed attempts, we finally got a good Fantastic Four movie. Now, this year, after 4 failed attempts, here's hoping we finally get a good Doctor Doom. Just a little bit of him talking in the trailer, and especially him stopping Thor's axe, gave me some hope.
Yeah, I didn't have that strong a reaction one way or another. I'm not saying that's like a put down or anything. I mean, people like us, we love to nitpick, trailers and anything that we can in media. And it was one of those things where I'm like, all right, I got about what I was expecting, but like in a good way. It looks big. It looks, cool. It's neat to see some of these characters. I want to see some of them explore more because even though I personally didn't into that last Fantastic Four movie, I did like those people. I like those characters. I don't want to see them explore more. I want to see them interact with different people and everything. So yeah, I mean, the little bit we saw, it really is a teaser still, but for what I saw, I thought it looked decent.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you really did like the Chipmunks movie, wonder what you think of the ones where they meet the Universal monsters. Tunerific Tyreek loves them.
Yeah, I've gotten those recommended for a while. I think the werewolf one, I think got recommended like a lot to me. So I always have it down as a possible one for like nostalgia ween, and then I like never ever get around to it. But
I was
maybe I should because
chosen
I've heard really
today.
good things about it.
Liv J. Brown, thank you for becoming a member for 18 months over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. Happy 71st birthday to one of the greatest working actors today, Willem Dafoe. Also, happy 33rd birthday to me, I guess. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Dragon's Toy, thank you for that 75-month subscription over on Twitch.
Well, thank
Welcome
you.
back. Appreciate that. Do either of you have any concerts or shows coming up that you're looking forward to? We just saw Danny Elfman in concert last weekend, and being in the same room, hearing the singing voice of Jack go into What's This gave me life.
That's cool. I don't think I do. We should. I think we can still promote this, even though they're not dropping by Chicago. There's a World of Warcraft concert that's touring, and they're not dropping by Chicago, sadly, but they are dropping by a few places in America. And Jahan is a big part of it. She's a big reason why it's even touring and all that good stuff. So she's done a lot of great music for us, like with the Nostalgia Ween intros and everything. So if you're able to see that, definitely go check it out. But I don't have anything coming up, and Heather, you always have an Evanescence.
I know, I just saw
what you are
Evanescence
going to
like,
go to.
yeah, 2 weeks ago. So I don't have any concerts coming up right now, but I'm very excited the second that Maybe Happy Ending, which is a Broadway show, is in Chicago. I am getting tickets the second they go on sale because it's supposed to be in town like in November, and I'm so excited to see that show. JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, do you think this year's movies were more disappointing than last year's?
I have to look at the movies. Well, and we're if we're going by year, I mean the year is only halfway over.
True.
So it doesn't even. I mean, if we're going by summer films, I mean even summer, there's still uh, plenty coming out. I mean, there's some stuff last year I enjoyed. Looking at the stuff here. Again, I feel like it's not really fair to judge yet, seeing how it's not, um, it's not done. Especially, near the end of the years where they throw out all the award season movies and stuff like that. So, I still got to wait and see.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Since you're doing Temple of Doom, hope you acknowledge Kei Hui Kwan is not a bad actor, even if he annoyed you.
Oh, no, no. Same thing with, I'm forgetting her name, the actress who played, Willie. I've seen them. Obviously, I've seen them both good in other stuff. That really is something I kind of blame the directing on that and the tone. It's just kind of all over the map. And there's a part of me that appreciates just how hardcore insane it is, and that is something I'm going to talk about. No, and that is one of those things where I can't remember if I said in the review or not, because I do remember going much more. Again, it was more about jokes back then than analyzing, and it is something where it's like, yeah, I hope people know it's like well, now they know he's a good actor, obviously, because the Oscar. But even before then, when he was a kid, he was a really good actor. He had a lot of charm. It was just the way they tried to structure that character. I mean, I don't know who could have saved that role. Show me a kid that could say those lines in a way that's really charming and cute, and I want to see more of this kid, kind of thing. He's probably the closest that we could get to that.
Miss Yummy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on doing a hardcore Henry review? Maybe you can do it in first person, like in the movie.
That'd be tricky, but I guess not impossible. I never saw it. I really wanted to see it when it came out, and I heard so many mixed things. And now everybody really wants me to talk about it. So I don't know. I feel like there's got to be something interesting to it. So I'll put it down. And maybe there's like a little resurgence for it. I'll definitely put it down.
Larry Lester, thank you for the 500 bits. For a January, emphasis on January review, will you review Beverly Hills Ninja or at least any Chris Farley film?
Uh, I'm not the guy to do Chris Farley films. I really liked him on SNL. I didn't really get into him much in movies. Not that I hated him, like there's a Siskel and Ebert review where Siskel like walked out of the movie and Ebert was like, "I envy you." It's like I don't hate him that much in those movies because he is throwing his all into it, and sometimes he gets a little bit of a laugh. But I just can't think of any that I loved. I will say this: that is the closest to one that I like, because there were some really good laughs in there. But yeah, I really do feel like he was SNL seemed like the best fit for him. I never really got into that much of the movies. Even Tommy Boy, I mean, people like love that movie, so excited to watch it. I'm just like, yeah, this isn't doing it for me. I don't hate it. It just doesn't make me laugh. So yeah, it's one of those things where I think that rush of doing it in front of a live audience, and that he does only have one go at it and going off of like the audience and everything, like all of that, I think is just so much more fun and feeds into his strengths much more than I think a film where you could do a scene a couple times or have a stuntman go in there or whatever. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's him most of the time, but yeah, there's just something that doesn't make me laugh as much as it does in a short like 6-minute sketch.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Why you act like Missing Link is going to be the next Angry Birds movie? What happened to the guy who said worst of Miyazaki is better than best of Bay?
Missing Link, as in the stop motion movie?
Missing Link is capitalized, so I assume yes. It's a movie.
Well, I will say I still haven't seen it. I should probably see it before the new one comes out, which does look so good. And maybe that's another reason. It's that all the others people love to talk about, even the ones not as well known as like, like Box Trolls or Koopa and the Two Strings and stuff like that. People still, the ones that like it really, really like it. I've just never heard anybody say, what you got to see? Missing Link. It's really, really good.
I
The
was
best I ever
chosen
hear out of it
today.
is that it's okay. Um, but I guess I haven't heard anyone say it's awful either. It's just that middle of the road, either good enough or not good enough. You know what I mean? So I should check it out though, because I've seen all the other Leica movies.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. Possible review revisit of Casper? I think it holds up and is still the best live action film of a cartoon, but I'd love to see you re-review it.
Uh, I don't know. I kind of feel like I got a lot of my thoughts in there. Like I was probably a little meaner on it, than I necessarily need to, but I still don't think it's a good movie. I like that people that grew up with it have a connection with it because if anything, it's funny that Casper the Friendly Ghost is like a cool movie that kids grew up with. Um, and there's things I admire about the effects that they did. That was like the first time or one of the first times they had like CG characters in a live action film that, could emote. They were like fully constructed characters. It wasn't like making Jim Carrey's eyes go big or anything like that. Um, but and I it tried much harder than it needed to, certainly, but I think it was trying to do a little bit too much. I don't think the comedy quite worked. It's just sort of lacking in an identity, I think. I shouldn't say that. There's a little bit of an identity, but I was trying to do a little too much, I think. But no, I even in the review, I say I don't think it's awful. I don't hate it, by any means. It just it never quite grabbed me. But again, for a Casper the Friendly Ghost movie, it really is much better than it has any right to be.
Deshaun, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, would you do a re-review revisit of Hocus Pocus, where you finally give it a proper, full review?
Uh,
If I don't get to sing in it, why even do it? No, just kidding.
um, I don't know. I feel like what I said in the Disney December review, the re-review of it. I don't think I have anything more to add on top of that. The playfulness of the three actresses, their charisma with each other, the makeup. I mean, that is all great. The look of the film is pretty good too. Everything else is just a big old, either just a big nothing or just super awkward.
Wait, you don't love them talking about virgins?
Weird, right? Very odd. Um, so yeah, it just nothing's really changed outside of that. That's probably like the most current of like my thoughts you can get is that Disney December re-review that I did. I don't think I have anything else to add on top of that.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. Good evening, Heather and Thea Doug. I just wanted to say RIP to the actress who played the little deaf girl in the Monsterverse movies. She was only 18.
Yeah, it was like a car
So
crash,
sad,
right?
yeah.
Oh, that was awful to hear. Yeah, no, that was definitely a real bummer to hear.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What are some of your favorite Gary Cooper movies?
As one of those actors, I know like the time period he's from, but I always forget like what films he's in and everything. He's one of those actors where I just never remember. It's like a Western guy, right? Isn't that the thing?
I don't know if I know who that is, to be honest with you.
And I haven't seen a ton of westerns were just never really my thing. There are some that really stand out to me, certainly, and there are some classics. It's just not my genre. And yeah, brother, like none of these are like haven't seen it, haven't seen it, haven't seen it. Yeah, man. Like none of these are jumping out at me. I guess that's why I never remember him. I just haven't seen his films. A lot of films though. Very impressive how many he's done. But yeah, I don't think I've seen a single one of these. I'm so sorry.
Noah Zinner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Doug, I'm finally going to meet you at Game Fest this weekend. I was wondering if there's a specific labeled area where I'll be easier to find you.
I mean, they usually give us a booth somewhere wherever other people had booths.
Yeah, they don't normally tell us the booth number ahead of time.
Yeah, a lot of times when I get it, we'll try to like take a picture, like post on our socials, kind of thing. Especially the channel awesome social media stuff. Check that out. It'll be posted there. But yeah, just walk around the con, walk around where the other guests are and stuff like that. And you'll usually find us. We have like a banner there usually and stuff like that. Look for the longest line in the convention. That'll be no, but yeah, we're usually pretty easy to find.
Trip Corey, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, just want to double check
I
you'll
was
be at the gaming
frozen
convention in
today.
Austin on Saturday, right? That's the day I'm going. Also, is Rob coming?
No, it's just me and Brad, sadly. But yeah, we're gonna be there Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So hopefully y'all can make it. It'll be great to see you.
New Jersey Diablo, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hi
Thank
Doug,
you.
would you consider reviewing the 1986 sci-fi musical film Little Shop of Horrors? It's a classic starring so many comedy legends from Rick Moranis and Steve Martin to John Candy and Bill Murray.
Yeah, I like it. The puppetry on it is just mind blowing. And I did do a video, I think, on like top 11 WTF alternate endings, something like that. And Little Shop of Horrors was number one for obvious reasons, if you've seen it. But I don't know how much more I can add to it on top of that. It's a very sort of self explanatory movie. The more interesting thing probably is like the making of stories of it. Again, just how they moved that plant was so cool. But yeah, in terms of stuff to add to it, I don't think I can add that much more. I mean, it's a good film. I enjoy it. But I don't think it's really one where I can like talk about the layers and the way it works and you know, like how good the music is and all that. It's just one of those things where I can just say, "Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that was funny. Oh, that's neat." Like I don't have like the die hard love for it where I can really bring something new that like a million art critics haven't brought to it.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. So, Wildwood is apparently going to be over 2 hours long, making it one of the longest animated movies, certainly the longest stop motion one.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Very interesting. I think it's interesting it's being released through Fathom. It's not one of those where it's being released. I mean, it's still Leica, but it's not like Universal or Focus Features or anything like that. It's Fathom, uh, which I find very, very interesting. I'm wondering if they're going to use that to like maybe change their how they do things and how they release films, because usually it's one of those where you have to like look for a special screening of a Fathom event, kind of thing. It's not like every theater is the same time. But I don't think they're doing that this time, so I'm really, really curious to see how they go about it. I'm excited for it too. It looks really good.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What are some of your favorite John Wayne movies?
True Grit is good. There's issues with the Searchers, but I do like it. Red River, I like the second half of it quite a bit. Um, this probably doesn't count, but I did like the greatest story ever told, even though he just has a small part in there. I know a lot of people love The Quiet Man. Like I like it enough. Like it's fine. I don't know. Maybe I'm never in the right mindset when I see it, but it's all right, I guess. Oh, How the West Was Won. I remember being very good. Yeah, well, those are some good ones.
Truth, Hope, Love, thank you for the $5 super chat. Also, Wildwood may be rated PG 13, which I know you're normally whatever about, but how many PG 13 animated films do you know of? May I introduce you to anime? No, I'm just kidding. I know what you mean, like
I mean,
American
yeah,
animated.
yeah, yeah, really not that many. So it's interesting because it clearly still has that dark fairy tale vibe to it. So it's interesting that it will go PG-13. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing at all. If anything, I feel like, sort of like what Tim Burton did with like, sort of growing up. eh, I should say growing up, certainly making darker, fairy tales, and a little bit more modern and everything. So yeah, like I'm down for it. I think they could do some cool stuff with it.
Jimmy Vance, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thoughts on Fire Lord Ozai? Though I like the Dark Lord trope, there's not much to him I find interesting like I do Darth Sidious or Apocalypse.
I kind of agree. I even go back and forth on his design. They were building up what he looked like, and then when they showed him, he's kind of like, I don't know, he's not a bad looking guy or anything, but I mean, he's like just an anime archetype. It's like to build him up for that long. I kind of thought there'd be something else to him. Um, I don't know. He they came out with that character at a time when sort of the dark baddies, there's just nothing redeemable about them. They're just crazy, they're nuts, and they want to take over everything. Was still pretty popular, like your Skeletors or Mumras, and all that. Um, and because all the other characters were so well developed, I think it's one of those things where you just sort of assume, all right, well, this guy has just gone off the deep end. Like, there's just no coming back for this person. So to go too deep into that backstory would distract from what we were getting into already with the main characters. If anything, we get it more from the son with Suko. Like that's where the development really goes into in terms of like being sympathetic, for the villains kind of thing. So I know what you're talking about. I did expect in some manner a little bit more, but at the same time, it weirdly feels right. I think because all the other characters are so well developed, and there is maybe the mystery isn't as much what he looks like. That's what they were hiding. It's more just what made him this way. We just never really know because everyone else they explain really well, and this one they don't. So maybe that's sort of part of it, sort of part of the storytelling and the philosophy is that there's some people you're just never going to know how they got that way. And maybe that's where the true mystery is. Instead of hiding the face, what he looks like, it's hiding who he truly is and how he got that way.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. When they eventually make Inside Out 3, what dilemma do you think Riley should face that would naturally progress the story?
I don't know. I mean, it's a buffet of things you can, true. At what age are you gonna have her at? What, problem are you gonna have that can open itself up to a lot of different emotions that can, be born and everything. There's so many things. Yeah, that's like saying if you would just tell a movie on any part of life, which would it be? It's just there's just so many avenues you can go down. So I'll say this: I hope it's not just she's around the same age. I mean, there should be another. I mean, at least several years in between. I feel like. I mean, they should make it like I don't know 4 years later or something like that. I don't want it to be the following year. I don't want that. I want something that again is a big leap and will have the character grow up more.
Fran Cinema, thank you for the 150 HNL through Super Chat. Hi,
Thank you.
guys. Are you looking forward to, or have you at least heard of, Teenage Sex and Death Camp at Miasma? It's been my most anticipated movie this year. The director has a thing for long titles.
No, what's it called?
I don't know how much YouTube is going to let me say.
Yeah, you know what? You're right. Think about it. Let's play it safe. I'm sure I will hear that title again. I have not heard it before. So I guess I'll look it up. But again, I feel like even if I don't, that's going to just somehow make its way into my atmosphere because that's such a bizarre title.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits.
Today.
What's your favorite season of Avatar? Water, Earth, or Fire?
Uh, that's tough. Either Earth or Fire. I guess I'll say Fire. I really like the way it all wrapped up. I like them sort of being, in the bad guys territory. It has sort of like the most interesting development. When I think of like the most interesting back and forth between like Zuko and his uncle, a lot of that was in that season, even though they technically don't have a lot of back and forth. It's very, very much a one-sided conversation. I found that very interesting. So yeah, I guess I'll say that.
Elite Gamer, thank you for that 46-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Hello, Heather and Doug. Now, Mr. Douglas, you are being sued once again for calling Mr. Chaplin an idiot. Damages include making Chaplin the new Nostalgia Critic. All jokes aside, thanks for so many amazing months here, y'all rule. Also, that last Spider Man trailer with Hulk in it has me even more excited for next Thursday. Can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I hope Hulk becomes cool again. I just feel like that fight with Thanos was kind of like the last cool thing we saw him do in any of these movies. So it'd be nice to see something cool with him again. But yeah, and it's funny with that the sponsorship you're talking about. Um, we offered to do something else, and they're just like, no, no, that's it. Just play that again. We like that. We're like, all right. So it wasn't just a, oh, I'm lazy. I'll just play the same thing. Nope, that's what they want. They want the same ad. So yeah, I guess they found Chaplin just as cute as the rest of the world.
Puppet Boy, thank you for the €20 super chat. I just published my first book called The Outside World. I wouldn't dream of asking you to read it as I know how busy you are, but if by some miracle it gets adapted, I'd love for you to tell me how bad it is.
I like you just already assume your story is bad. You don't know that. Could be great. Could be wonderful. But
Congratulations. That's not a
yeah, big
small feat to
congrats
get
on
a
that.
book
No,
a book published. Congrats.
no, no, definitely. Yeah, I hope it goes as well as it can.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, do you think older shows could make a comeback on streaming services?
I think they usually do. Uh,
Absolutely.
yeah, Twilight Zone, Malcolm in the Middle, I think had a big resurgence when it went to stream. The Office practically had, a second, third, fourth, resurgent. Golden Girls, that's another one. I mean, all these shows, Parks and Rec, all these shows sort of find a new life through streaming, I feel like. So yeah, I think it's happened several times.
The Heroic Scope, thank you for the $10 super chat. Why do you think Charlie and the Chocolate Factory was liked by critics?
I don't know. Maybe they enjoyed the stuff with the kids and the parents because those were good updates. And I thought they were very modern updates without necessarily dating it. They were things that like you could still put on now and be like, I know that kid, I know that parent, I know all that. There are a lot of people that stick by if it's closer to the book, it must be better. I don't think that's always true.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be. Certainly can. But I thought the way the first one flowed was much better. Clearly, the Willy Wonka was better. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure, but there's a lot of people that still like it too. It still has a big fan base. So, yeah, not sure.
Mr. A. Wolfel, thank you for the $5 super chat. Are you aware of a group of dedicated fans working on Sonic Sat AM Season 3 called Team Season? And the second S is a 3. Looking at the trailers, it actually looks official.
Yeah, I feel like I've heard two different groups doing that. I think because somebody directed me to like a YouTube channel where they were doing that, and then somebody directed me to a different one where they were both working on it. Like, don't quote me on it. I swear there were two different groups doing it, and both looked good. Both looked really, really like you said, pretty professional and well done. So yeah, as far as I know, neither is out yet, but yeah, when it is, I'll definitely check it out.
Jacob, thank you for the $5 super chat. I love that your humor is getting its edge back. Like the Clinton joke in your open season video. My wife almost spat out her drink at that.
That was one where I'm just like, should I? Oh, just do it, kind of thing. No, I'm definitely somebody that I love dark jokes. I love inappropriate humor if it's smart. I like stuff that pushes the envelope a little bit. Again, if it's smart, even if it's dumb, there's a smart way to do dumb as well. But the thing with YouTube is that they've changed so many of the rules so often that it's like we just can't do that stuff as much. But I've always been a big fan of it. So if you see me trying to sneak something through or you just don't see it as much, it's not by choice. I definitely I'm one of those people where I'm very hard to offend on a joke. If anything, sort of the harsher it is, or the more surprisingly harsh it is, sort of the bigger laugh it'll get out of me. But again, I like it because there is an art to it. It isn't something you can just say something offensive and boom, it's brilliant. No, there really is this art because I always see it as I always see humor as a coping mechanism. So when you dive into the real pain that somebody's feeling, or real hardships that somebody's going through, and you do throw this irony on it, where somebody could mistake it for being taken literally and all that stuff, uh, and diving into how selfish we can be and dumb we can be, all of that, I just think is so fascinating and so funny. Uh, so yeah, that's a type of humor I love. YouTube is not as big a fan of it and definitely likes to watch us and throw stuff our way to say, nope, you can't do that. So yeah, we gotta work within that, sadly.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen Bill Maher's Religulous? And if so, what are your thoughts?
Nah, and I am someone that thinks thoughts on religion, whether pro or con or both, are very interesting. It's funny you ask that now, because I do like watching Bill Maher's podcast, where he just talks with guests about anything. There's no time limit, there's no agenda to it. That stuff I like. I don't really get into talking heads shows, and even though he can be very, very funny, there is definitely an arrogance, to it. That's very, very obvious. But sometimes that can make him very funny too. Uh, just when I heard him describing how it was, and then I saw the director was the guy who did Borat and everything, I'm like, I already know what this movie's gonna be, and it didn't interest me. So I never checked it out. I'm not gonna say it's bad because I never saw it, but I just feel like it's something I'm not particularly interested in. So I never gave it a watch.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part one of two. Feels like Hollywood's continuing the trend of making antagonists go from villains to being remorseful or misunderstood, then instantly forgiven. And there is a part two to this.
I'll wait for part two.
Jimmy, thank you for the $5 super chat. Which Star Wars movie has your favorite overall soundtrack?
Probably Return of the Jedi, because it has all the themes figured out. It
Mm.
knows how to use them. And then you have the Emperor's theme on top of that. I love the Emperor's theme. I love when that choir comes in, when Luke is really, just giving it to Vader with the lightsaber and stuff. That sounded awful, but you know what I mean. That comes in, it just sounds like so big and epic, and oh, it's just so good. With that said, a close second is probably Empire, because I think just creating the Empire theme, them flying through the asteroids, I love some of that music. Um, yeah, no, it's a pretty pretty solid soundtrack in all those movies.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. This is part two of two. I think I prefer if antagonists were consistent in a black and white way, like Thanos, Joker, Lotso, Bill Cipher, Bellows, etc. Know what I mean?
Well, Thanos, I would argue, does have some humanity to him. If he didn't, you wouldn't have that scene with where he has to throw what he loves most over that cliff.
I was frozen
But
today.
what it is. But no, I'm fine with either. I'm fine with developing a villain so that there can be layering to them. There can be a tragedy to them, whether they're funny or dramatic. But the same thing too. I love just irredeemable, terrible villains. That's one of the things Disney for years was praised for. Maleficent, Frollo. I mean, these are great, evil, just not at all redeemable characters, and they're awesome. You love to hate them. So yeah, no, I think both can be very well done. But I agree, there can be times where we get too much of one thing, and you do want that variety in there too.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Toy Story 3, what do you think of Lotso getting tied to the front of the garbage truck? I think it's the perfect comeuppance.
I guess I just thought it was a variation of, the one from Toy Story 2, the Kelsey Grammer, the Stinky Pete character. Everything about that guy just seemed like a variation of that character. So I don't know, if you had to ask me in that movie, how do you think this guy's gonna, what's his resolution gonna be? How's it gonna end? That'd probably be what I guess, honestly. So yeah, I don't know. I'm somebody that I like Toy Story 2 and 1 more than 3, even though I acknowledge 3 is a good movie.
Jeffrey Andrew, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube. Welcome. Appreciate
Thank you.
that. I know, guys, thank you for that 75-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank
Want to know
you.
something funny? You know how you laughed at Animal Farm having a QR code? Well, that's Angel Studios' whole thing, and it's a scam. Just in case you were
Hmm.
wondering how Sound of Freedom got so much money.
You could be right. I don't know. I'll say this with Animal Farm, it was probably one of the most creative I've seen. They were building up in the end credits for those who don't know. Something big is coming. It is showing the credits. It's coming in like 2 minutes, and there's a little countdown like this thing. Oh, you're gonna give it a standing ovation. Of course, we're like, well, we gotta know what is it. And it's a QR code that says "Vote now." Should we do? No, it's just. Did you like this movie or never do this again as long as you live? So of course we did the never do this again as long as you live, and it takes you to a site that just says you are wrong. Here's all the reasons why, and they have like Napoleon there, like listing a bunch of like BS reasons why. The marketing was actually the best part of that movie. The trying to save it anytime, when it got like whatever 5%, whatever of Rotten Tomatoes, you'd have Napoleon crossing it off and saying 100% and stuff like that. I'm like, that's actually really clever, and it does match the theming of both the movie and the original book. Sadly, the movie's awful, but that was the one thing where I'm just like, all right, that they must have known they had garbage, and they just tried to lean really heavy into it, and it was a pretty clever way to lean into it.
Jacob Chappell, thank you for the $5 super chat. The story of the guy who always applauds at the end of every movie almost feels like it's referring to me because I dislike very few films.
You know, Sometimes that's nice. There's been a couple people I know that just like almost everything they see, and I'm just like, that's actually really cool. That's a nice, thing to have. I feel like when people have something they not just like, they love whatever the subject is or hobby or whatever. That's when they'll get more passionate about really not liking something. I think for a lot of people, movies are just a fun hobby, a nice little bit of entertainment. There's some they might like more than others or whatever, but everyone has that thing. I don't know. It could be sports, it could be bikes, it could be really anything. It could be making models and anything, drawing, and they're gonna find stuff where the more they really focus on it, they're gonna see the stuff that's really great. And because that creates such a good experience for them, they're gonna then have a harsher view on something that's not as good to that. You mean I could be getting more of this, but instead I'm getting that? No, I'm not accepting that. So it's not at all that, oh, you're not sophisticated enough. No, you have to be, much more on top of things and snotty and snobby like I am to appreciate. No. It's a wonderful thing to have. But I think, I bet you have something too where you just love a certain something, and you love it so much that when something doesn't match that or is in the same ballpark as that, you tend to really not like that. Like food, it could be food too. It could literally be anything. So yeah, definitely don't take that as a sign of, oh, I'm not educated enough or anything like that. No, that's not at all. I think that's wonderful that you get out of movies what they're trying to get out of you, which is applause and joy and all of that, and money too if you paid for it.
The Disney Nerd, thank you for the $5 super chat. I rewatched The Wild Robot recently, and I still think it's amazing. What do you think about the scene where Bright Bill asks Roz for a boost?
Uh oh, I liked it a lot. Yeah, I really like the connection they have, and I was somebody going into it that was very skeptical about having dialogue in it, even though the dialogue didn't look bad. I was just thinking, oh, this would be better if it was a silent film, if there was no dialogue. But they worked with it very well, and I think a major part of that, which it's such a subtle little thing, but I love how Bill, was that the name of the
Bright Bill. Hmm.
Bright Bill, um, grows up hearing her language, and he'll actually make the beeping sound effects. Beep bop boop, mother, where are we? Beep bop boop bop, and that was so clever, and that was just a subtle little touch, but I felt like, wow, what a, and you can't get that without dialogue in it. So I like when something not only proves me wrong, but actually does something where I'm like, ooh, I actually, now I can't imagine this without dialogue. So I like when a film really sends me in that other direction.
Headshot, thank you for the $5 super chat. I finally began streaming my adventures with Superman. I just can't get over how this Lois Lane looks and acts just like Luce Noceda. I'm so sorry. Sorry, from Owl House.
Uh, I can see that. Yeah, actually, there is a similar. Well, and they both certainly Superman more, but have a very heavy lean towards anime with it, that anime style. And yeah, I guess I never thought about that, but yeah, it is kind of like that character grown up.
Resident Evil 751, thank you for becoming a member over on YouTube for 4 months. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank
that.
you.
Strider for Life, thank you for the 500 bits. Have you seen the trailer for I Play Rocky?
Yeah, I thought it looked good. I was saying somebody brought up last night too, and I thought it was so funny how is it Peter Farley? I think is the guy directing it. He'll do, just these dumbbell movies like, Dumb and Dumber and, Stuck Together, whatever. And then just now here's my Oscar contender. It's always so funny how that works. But the thing I was most impressed by with it is the actor they got doesn't sound funny. It doesn't sound silly, him doing the Stallone voice, because that is so easy a trap to fall into. And I'm kind of glad I didn't hear they're making a movie about this, because I would just expect whoever they got to play Stallone was just going to sound silly. There's just some voices and looks where it's like it's almost impossible to replicate this without sounding funny. And as soon as he started talking and everything, I'm like, no, I buy this. He seems totally like I believe that's Stallone 100%. So I was very, very impressed by that. And yeah, I'm excited for it.
Andy Metz, thank you for the $5 super chat. With the new Jackass movie in theaters recently, what's your favorite slash most memorable to you in terms of Jackass stunts in the show or movie?
Let me see. I do remember seeing it in 3D was pretty fun. Was that the one where they also had launching the porta potty in the air with Steve-O inside? That was pretty great. Um, yeah, probably three. Three's the one I think I got the most laughs out of.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather, in 007 First Light, what do you think of Sir Nicholas Webb and his son Damien? Well, I haven't quite finished it yet, but I enjoyed Damien. Damien is so, like, the hammy Bond villain. He's even got a mask and everything. I'm like, I love a good over-the-top Bond villain, even if it's more, like, a little serious in tone the movie is. Like, I love a little playful Bond villain who's just crazy and like, yes, I love the murder, you know? Cinefun Studios, thank you for that 2-month membership over on YouTube. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Have you seen the movie Animal Crackers on Netflix? The making of it is actually really interesting and could make a good NC review.
Let me see. Animal Crackers Netflix. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I never even heard of it. All right, I'll try to check it out.
Retro Dakuverse, thank you for the $10 super chat. Watched every Kevin Smith movie leading to Birthday. I'm 27 now. So now my question to you is, why do you hate Clerks 2 so much? And how do you feel on Dogma? Though the latter is the best, is the best, I say.
Uh, Clerks 2 compared to the first one, I think was just so lame and such a letdown. Uh, I do like the bit. What was it? The little gnome character he's talking about. That was so bonkers. It kind of made me laugh. Everything else just kind of goes the direction you think, except it's not that funny. There's a music video in there too. Everything about it just didn't. It was so modern, Kevin Smith, like Kevin Smith after Clerks, or even like after. It was more like Mallrats Kevin Smith, and I don't get into that Kevin Smith that much, just personally. But I heard 3 is good. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard 3 is good. And Dogma I go back and forth on because I like the discussions. I always say it's like a young person's first serious dive into religion, like especially something outside of their own religion, which is good. When you're an adult, though, you kind of look back on some of this and be like, this is kind of stupid. But then other things are really funny. And I think that tone goes back and forth, maybe a little too jarringly, but there's good stuff in it. It's a good movie for young people to watch to discuss religion, I think.
Teo Rojlik, thank you for the €5 super chat. Doug, do you think you can do an NC review of these? The Exorcist, 1972, Grease, maybe people nostalgic for the 1970 can watch it, or maybe Daria.
Uh, I thought about doing Daria at some point. But shows are difficult. That's the thing because they are so many episodes to watch. Not just watch, but also edit together. When you have a movie, it's a nice, compact, 2 hour, little clump there. But with shows, you have all these episodes. I'll talk about this episode here. Now I have to go find that episode. Here it is. There's that clip. Now I talk about this thing. Now, what episode had that thing? And I think there's okay, I can put that there. Now, and I'm only like 5 seconds like into the review, and it's just taking forever to find these clips. So that adds a lot more time. Uh The Exorcist, I don't know how much more I can add to it on top of just what everybody has said about it. Brad Jones of Simba Snap did a really good review of it, and was pretty good. That's also another one too where I'm like, man, I don't know how much I could get past YouTube's, uh, the way they have things set up, where again, all the swearing, all the imagery and stuff. I don't know how far I could get with it.
Bernsey, thank you for the 500 bits. JL, thanks for the gift sub. So generous.
Thank you.
Right. King Croker, thank you for that 72-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
AOTV Productions, thank you for the $5 super chat. It's rumored Kevin Feige is interested in having Anya Taylor-Joy reprise her role as Magic from the New Mutants in the MCU. What do you think?
Sure. I mean, she was fine. Actually, I didn't think the acting in the movie was that bad. The movie was actually for a while kind of better than I thought it was gonna be. It's really only when it got to that last chunk that it really, really falls apart. But there was a long amount of time I was watching that, like I was actually kind of getting into it. And I think a lot of it was the actors. The actors were really carrying a lot of it.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, did you know that the actor from the OC went on to play James Gordon in Gotham?
Cool. I didn't know that.
Sean49 Doctor, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, you've mentioned famous writers before on the stream, but have you read anything by Ernest Hemingway? Seen any films based on his work, or seen the 3-part documentary by Ken Burns?
I've not. I've heard about that documentary. I hear it's very good. And again, this is another. I mean, it's like one of the most famous writers of all time, and I'm like, which ones did he write? It's another one of those where it's kind of like, uh, again, songs and bands for me, where it's like I know this is a big name, but what did he write? I do know, like I've heard of some of these books. I will admit, shamefully, I have not read them. I have heard of For Whom the Bell Tolls, Farewell to Arms, and so forth, but I have not read them, which is a shame. Again, I did have a problem reading when I was younger. It wasn't the easiest thing for me. It's kind of a long story, but the short version is like, I was dyslexic, so it just wasn't something I look forward to. It's really only the past 20 years I really got into reading again, reading autobiographies and stuff like that. And when the fatigue hits, it does make it really hard to read again. So yeah, it's something I've always. It sounds ridiculous, but I have struggled with it a little bit. So yeah, sadly, I have not read many of these, and I should, because I know a lot of them are classics.
Lava War Cannon, thank you for the $10 super chat. I don't know if anyone else agrees, but so many ads, on YouTube at least, are going the route of random influencer sponsorship and don't feel like commercials anymore. Where's the craft? The charm?
I'm somebody that always enjoyed, I mean, even the fact that I do commercial specials, talk about commercials. I like a good ad. I like a good commercial. I like when something goes the extra mile and sticks with you and has a charm to it and all that stuff. So I try not to do the straightforward reads. I always try to do something a little odd and weird, but I also don't have much time to do it. So it's not like this is my A material, but sometimes people like that when I just panic and put whatever I can think of in the moment on there. So yeah, I'm somebody that really likes that stuff quite a bit. When somebody does something a little different or odd, I do listen to it. If it's just, but now time to, do a sponsorship. Whenever I'm blah blah blah, I mean, I always skip it. But I get why they do it. I'm sure they're making like a million videos, and this is like something they just got like a week before, a day before, or something like that. They don't have time to really think up anything that crazy. So part of me gets it, but yeah, I always like to put in a little bit more effort into it, even if it is, very last minute, and I don't have a ton of
I
time
was
to do much with it. I
frozen
still got to do
today.
something.
AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Kevin Feige also said Yelena plays a bigger part in Avengers Doomsday. She's also rumored to appear in Spider Man Brand New Day. What do you think?
Interesting. I guess we'll see. It'd be cool if she had a connection to Colossus because I always like Colossus. And they did have him in Deadpool, so maybe they can do something with that. Yeah, that'd be cool if they could kind of tie them together. Maybe they'll do that in the new Spider-Man. We'll have to see.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. And Hoppers, what do you think of Titus the Insect King? Do you think he's a good villain?
I thought it was very funny. I I like it too because you don't necessarily suspect him to be the main villain. So when that does suddenly happen, it's really funny. I like the way the tone goes back and forth with him. That's actually probably my favorite thing in the movie is the way the tones would switch in a way that didn't feel jarring. At least not jarring in a bad way. It was jarring in a very funny way that seemed to have some good surprises behind every corner with the film. So yeah, I thought he was a good reflection of that, and he's funny when he's tiny, has the little voice, and then he's funny without giving anything away later when he's in a different setup there. I thought that was a lot of fun and even kind of creepy the way they shot him sometimes. So yeah, I thought he was definitely really fun to watch.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. People in Potter Q&A. The critic is selling out reviewing a kid's film. Way to be mainstream. Me. Troll! Troll in the chat! Thought you ought to know.
I mean, I feel like I've done lots of different types of films. I mean, but especially probably films for younger people because I talk about nostalgia and growing up with something. So that's kind of the whole theme. So yeah, I wouldn't think that'd be that new.
The Heroic Scope, thank you for the $10 super chat. What makes Final Fantasy VII villains work versus James Cameron Avatar villains?
Oh, so the funny thing about James Cameron's Avatar movies is that the villains are probably the most fun. Honestly, Stephen Lang, is unbelievably one note, but his performance is a lot of fun. I mean, he's giving it exactly what's being asked for and then some. Kate Winslet would have been a great villain. Oh my god, I was so looking forward to that, but that would be something different. We can't do that. We gotta go back to the usual crap that we do. So they really squished down, her performance. But even then, the connection they have with her and Stephen Lang's character was really, really fun. So yeah, in a strange sense, even though one of them's very, very one note, and I guess like the overall human army, all that, they're very, very boring. I feel like going big and crazier with that is what the Final Fantasy, games seem to do, and everything in those games is so big and over the top and silly. So when you can do that with a villain as well, I mean, just these incredibly crazy hairstyles and the long swords and all the belt buckles on their coats and everything. I mean, that stuff is just so wonderfully over the top, and the personalities usually go along with it too. So yeah, no, it's funny you said that because, like I said, at least with two of them in those Avatar movies, that's closer to, yes, kind of being one note, but at least it's enjoyably one note. It's so over the top, crazy, bonkers one note that I feel like you can really have more fun with.
Tony Filippo, thank you for the $5 super chat. Here's an idea. Top 11 saddest Disney moments. Considering for your top 11 saddest moments 10 plus years ago, you put every Disney film sad scene as number one.
Yeah, boy, I don't know. I'd have to really think about that. What would even I mean, some even on like just a level of like, okay, I don't think these are really spoilers anymore, but like
Yeah.
Bambi and Lion King, you know who dies in those movies, but like who do you put above the other because Bambi was the first one to do it, but Lion King seemed to take it a little further, too. So it's one of those things where you go, yeah, I don't even know which would top the other. So I don't know. It's There's probably an idea in there, but at the same time, I'm sure there's been a lot of other lists that have done that before. So I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
AOTV, thank you for the $10 super chat. Disney after Snow White failed. We're canceling the Tangled remake. Disney after Lilo and Stitch succeeded. Never mind. Disney to fans after Moana fails. You're giving us mixed signals.
Man, and have you seen? I usually don't even look this stuff up, but it just sort of showed up in my feed. The pictures they have of like, I mean, they're just far off, pictures, which I usually don't judge. But I mean, it was like a Flynn and Rapunzel, and they just look. It looks like a Disney World meet and greet. It's just the exact same costumes again. And it's like, man, why are we doing this? Uh, if you're gonna do it, like again, do something different. Really try to take the story and characters somewhere else. And honestly, I think the story in Tangled is really, really solid. I think that's like one of their cleverest updates, in my opinion. Uh, so yeah, the idea of like, well, we gotta change this up. We gotta make it look more realistic. No, you don't, because it's 3D animation. It already looks kind of real. So yeah, I don't get the point of putting him the exact same clothes, the exact same costumes, and all that. I just don't. I don't follow it.
Joe RCK, thank you for becoming a member for 5 months over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Nirvana, the band, the show will be on Hulu and the movie too. Now's your chance to watch it, and best non controversial movie of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really want to see it because I've heard great things about it, and I don't know a thing about it. Which excites me going into a film where I just don't know anything. I mean, I know Nirvana is obviously, but in terms of like what the movie is, I don't know. So yeah, I saw the show advertised. I was hoping the movie was gonna be on there too. So hearing that is nice to know. Yeah, no, it's one of the films where I'm actually like legit like pretty hyped for, even though it's already come out and people already liked it.
AOTV, thank you for the $5 super chat. Indy Navarrete from Obsession is reportedly being eyed to play Black Cat in the MCU. What do you think?
I'm assuming that's the main, the one that gets possessed and everything. Um, I mean, she definitely showed her acting chops in that movie. So yeah, I'm curious to see what she can bring as that character. It'll be nice to finally see that character on the big screen. I think there's a lot of fun things you can do with that.
Pugs for Life, thank you for the $5 super chat. I know you're not a business expert, but as a critic and as a fan of Disney, do you like Eisner or Iger better? Both had high highs and low lows.
Eh, Again, I'm assuming we're talking about business practices. I guess I'll say Eisner because even though when he first came in, he clearly didn't understand a lot. But you've heard stories before too of him not understanding certain things about like in the Goofy movie. Let's get Steve Martin. Let's get blah blah blah. Uh, but for all the complaints, there were a lot of people saying he was also like the guardian angel. He was the one that really pushed us. He was the one that got things back on track. Uh, and I think just with the number of hits they kept pushing out, not just in terms of good storytelling and acting, all that, but I mean the animation being, just really upping, you know, what they've done in the past and in a new, unique style, but still looked Disney. All of that. I just go, yeah, man, that's not something where okay, he just had a lucky break, and they're not soulless either. I think that's the thing with when Iger messes up, there's a soulless quality to it. And same thing with who's the other guy? Everyone always makes fun of him. I'm forgetting. It was Eisner and no, I'm so sorry. I'm confusing Eisner for Katzenberg. I got that backwards. Katzenberg's worse. I'm so sorry. I confused those two. I'm like, who's the guy I'm thinking of? It's Eisner. Wait, no, it is Eisner. That's the one. Yeah, sorry, I confused it for Katzenberg. I know Katzenberg wasn't technically in charge, but he kind of was. Yeah, I'll say Iger because at least he's trying to go off of something that has worked in the past and has a hint of innovation in there. Where Eisner just saw what somebody else did and said, "Do that," to a comical degree. Um, and I've I've heard good stories about Iger. I haven't heard like any good stories about Eisner, even though I'm sure there's good things he's done, obviously. But yeah, that's I'll say that from again an outsider looking in perspective.
Too Much Media, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are a couple of the most unintentionally funny movie moments that you've ever seen?
Brother, all of the Eternals, and nobody's on the same page as me, but it's just one of those movies where just the flat, overly serious delivery, even when it's trying to be funny, it was just so off and awkward. It made me laugh for like different reasons. And I don't know. It's that the actors are all clearly trying and they're good actors, but I think just everything just felt the right amount off that just made me laugh so hard. Um, and nobody else was laughing in the movie theater. But of course, nobody else was in the movie theater, so I guess it worked out okay.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. I saw this question online and would like to know your opinion. If these Marvel characters were in a fight, who do you think would win? The Hulk, Colossus, The Thing, or Wolverine?
uh,
I often go Wolverine because he's got the healing factor. You know what I mean?
yeah. He's tiny, but he's fast. I'd probably say Colossus because he's literally made of metal. He's kind of a medium of all, like in terms of size. He's just the right size. You know what I mean? He's not too big. He's not too small like Wolverine. And he's got a good heart. He's got something to fight for. He's got those good, simple values and everything. I think that will push him a little further. So I'll go with him.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. Did you know before it was canceled weeks ago, we almost got a theatrically released origin story to VeggieTales' most iconic character, Larry Boy? For real, what a loss.
Mm. If I knew who that was, I would be very, very heartbroken. I've only seen the movie. I'm not sure about the VeggieTales character. Excuse me.
The One Time Man, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug, your show has helped me in some tough, sad times, and you've even inspired me to make my own comedic reviews. By inspired, I mean ripoffs. But in all seriousness, thanks so much for the past 13 years, man.
Oh, thank you for the kind words. It's very, that means a lot to hear that. So thank you so very, very much.
ZoMG Ruler, thank you for the $5 super chat. I thought the Clayface trailer was pretty alright. Will the actual Clay monster look being more like Creature Commandos or Batman the Animated Series? I'm unsure.
I don't know either. It's one of the reasons I'm excited about it. Boy, talk about body horror in a very unique way because they're just doing all these things with his face. That eyelid scene is just like,
oh my
ugh.
gosh, the scissors came out and I was like, ah.
But at the same time, there's no blood
No.
in any of it, and it's all clay and everything. But it is. I'm with you. It's like and that's exciting. That's cool to see. It's neat to see something that's not like really bloody or something you can necessarily like. I've gone through that. My eyes sticking together like clay, and I have to cut them. But you still recognize it as gruesome. And I love that kind of creativity. So, yeah, no, I'm excited for it.
The Heroic Scope, thank you for the $10 super chat. What if they tried to do the Wicked formula with Brom Bones? Since Ichabod is already a jerk, they could work.
Well, I'm half with you. I don't think you have to do it with Brom Bones. Just tell Sleepy Hollow. Just tell the original story. I mean, that basically is it. So yeah, I'm all down for like a cinematic version of that story that actually does follow the story.
Melissa, thank you for the 500 bits. Not saying I ever want the NC to stop, but what do you think would be the best way to wrap things up?
I don't know because when I started, obviously, even the first year or two, I had an idea about how I would wrap up the character. And then when we were getting to our first wrap up, that kind of changed. And that wasn't even that long. It was like 4 years. Suddenly I'm like, oh, like the character's a little different. It doesn't feel right. I was originally thinking like a selfish Always Sunny in Philadelphia type ending, where it's kind of a jerky, mean spirited ending. But then I was like, the characters kind of change, styles kind of change, and everything. So I've decided not to think that far ahead of it because I don't know where the character, where the internet, where people's enjoyment, where any of that is going to be by that time. And I usually find too when I put too much effort in to something too far ahead, it usually doesn't work out that great. For some reason, I'm better when I'm rushed and it's in the moment. And I think that is part of what makes the internet fun, and why a lot of movies and other media is struggling to catch up because, you know, if you want to satirize something, you have a joke, a really good joke, and you got to write it. The actors got to learn it. You got to get the production. You got to get the money for it. You got to perform it. You got to edit it. And it's like a year and a half later, and the joke's already dated. So stuff like that becomes a little bit more tricky. Where with the internet, you have a joke, you just immediately put it out there. In fact, it's a race to see who can get a joke like that out there the quickest and the best. So yeah, it's not something I can really predict where the character is going to be, where the internet's going to be. But that's also kind of fun too.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Bad Guys film, what do you think of Diane?
I think I remember. Which one's Diane? Is that the Fox? Let's see.
I haven't
Bad
seen it, so I do
Guys,
not know.
Diane. Yeah, that's the Fox. I like her. I think I liked her a little. Actually, I'm trying to remember now. Without going to spoilers, I think I liked her a little bit more in the second one because they could allow the character to do a little bit more. And if you see the first one, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, just a fun character.
Anyway, how's your
Eric,
sex
thank you
life?
for the $5 super chat. Doug, since you reviewed HP and the Philosopher's Stone, are you going to get around to viewing the rest of the Harry Potter movies except Fantastic Beasts?
um, yeah, I'm planning to do one every year. There's a couple franchises I started just to kind of. I mean, I haven't been losing motivation at all, but at the same time, there is something nice knowing it's like, okay, well, if I ever am like feeling kind of tired or whatever, or looking for something to do, it's like, no, there's like 10 more of these movies, so I can do that. That Resident Evil. I've been thinking about doing Fast and Furious because I've only seen like maybe three of those, and they were all in the middle. So yeah, I definitely like the idea of just starting new franchises.
Ryan Wilkins, thank you for becoming a member for 15 months over on YouTube. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, I started watching the George Reeves Superman show again. Have you revisited any lately?
Lately, no, but I kind of grew up with it. They were on Nick at Night. And I liked them for what they were. I mean, they're very much of that time period, which is part of what's so fun about them. And it's always so fun to imagine that suit being pink. That's always such a great image. But yeah, I mean, they're not amazing or anything, but for what they are, I thought they were, entertaining enough.
Jace, thank you for the $5 super chat. With Sam Neill's tragic passing, how about a review of the less strange Pinocchio retelling by Centennial Man or In the Mouth of Madness? Both great.
I do love In the Mouth of Madness. And when it came out, it really got, panned by critics and everything. And then somebody, and maybe it was Brad, I can't remember, somebody told me, no, it's actually really good. And I watched it and I loved it. I remember my dad saw it at the time and he was telling me what happens. And, oh, it's so stupid. This happens and that happens. I remember when he was done talking about it, I was like, I don't know, it sounds kind of interesting. And then, like I said, years later, I decided to put it on and I loved it. I've never seen Bicentennial Man. It just looks so bad. To me, it so looks like a movie I would not enjoy. And it has a lot of people in it that folks are very sympathetic to, like Robin Williams, like Sam Neill now and everything. So it's one of those where I'm just like, I should probably stay away from it.
Dev the Wiser, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think are your favorite adaptations of the Odyssey?
I can't think of one that like that's the one, that's the best one, that's like the one to beat. But I remember the one that sort of kept my interest because at the time it was the one that I thought kind of it told in the most interesting manner, and I thought it kept my interest the most. Probably was the '97 one, the miniseries with Amanda Santes, or Amanda Sante, I forget how you say it, and like I like the various ways they would show the guy. Like Poseidon was literally like this face in these waves. I thought that was really neat, and the effects don't hold up great, but they're creative. I love that fight at the end where I think in the newer one it's all done in one room. Where in this one, I feel like he's, if I remember right, he's just going from room to room, battling like tons and tons of guys, and it was kind of ridiculous, but it was so badass at the same time. I just really believed he could do it because he was putting in such a fun performance. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's the best one by any means, but it's the one that I remember it keeping my interest the most. I remember thinking, even though I never read the full story, again, I sort of knew the bullet points. I said, this feels like this is, kind of the closest to it, even though I could be wrong about that. But it definitely had that feel, that spirit to it.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Do you think you'll be able to review Descendants 5 for Disney-cember? Most of it takes place in Wonderland.
Maybe. We'll see. I did see that just dropped. It is one of those where I'm like, oh man, I'm so tired of these movies. I can't believe they're still making them. But I've done all the other ones, so I probably should. We'll see. We'll see if I'm up to it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Who do you think is the better Lobo? Brad Garrett in Superman the Animated Series or Jason Momoa in Supergirl?
That's, in terms of a structured character, I'd probably say the animated series, partially because they just have more time. They can devote whole episodes to them. The one in Supergirl wasn't bad, but it definitely feels like he's there just to be there. And there are some moments where it's like, oh, that should have been a little cooler, but it was just a little off. And then other moments where I'm just like, oh, that's just as awesome as I hoped live action Lobo would be. So kind of goes back and forth. I guess for now I'll say the animated series, but it can change if they have him in more stuff and they make him really cool. It can definitely change.
Spike Bebop, thank you for the $10 super chat. How will you review any new live... No, sorry. Hi, Heather. Hi, will you review any new live-action anime adaptations like Death Note or Speed Racer?
Somebody just brought up Speed Racer again. I technically reviewed it with Bennett a long time ago. I should revisit it, especially because in that review, I think I was really tight on time, so I just said, I might throw in a joke here or there, but I don't think I'll have time to do, too much with it. So it would probably be good to do like a revisit on that. But I literally just did one with the Chipmunks Adventures, so I'll give it a little bit of time. But yeah, I might, because I'm curious to watch it again. Because when I first saw it, I had a headache, which I'm sure I would still not like the film, but I'd be curious to see if I would hate it without a headache. So yeah, at some point I'll give it another watch.
Pastry Jeff, thank you for the $5 super chat. What with Tony being released in 2 weeks, what are your favorite biopics?
Man, let me think. Some I kind of don't know whether to count them as biopics. Like, does Tombstone count? Does Good Night and Good Luck technically count? Those are more like moments, like big moments in a person's life. But no, honestly, things gotta be Ed Wood. That's still like my personal favorite.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, what do you think of Charlie Sheen voicing Charlie in All Dogs Go to Heaven? 2.
I didn't know he actually voiced him in that. I don't know if I've ever actually seen the movie all the way through. It's one of those where I would see it on TV and be morbidly curious, and whenever I would watch it, I'd be like, this isn't good, but I guess it's not awful. So I should probably sit down and watch the whole thing.
Cheese Master Lord, thank you for the $50 super chat. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Hi, Doug. I'm not sure if you already went over this, but what are your honest thoughts on the second season of the One Piece live adaptation? Did you enjoy it? Also, what do you think of the CGI effects for Chopper in the show?
Oh, I thought they were really good. The emotion from him was great. The voice acting was great. I was surprised that actress, as far as I knew, didn't really do voice acting up to that point. She just, and I swore, I'm like, oh, I know this voice. I've heard this voice before. And it's like, I haven't. It was like a completely new voice. So yeah, she did fantastic. I loved it. As someone that does not follow the original anime. I like to. It's just a time thing, especially with that show. Um, yeah, I
I
thought
was
it still held my
frozen
attention. That
today.
kid playing Luffy is still just a friggin' delight. Like he really is the glue that holds it all together. But even outside of that, the world is awesome. The humor is awesome. Its energy is fantastic. It's so creative. It was cool seeing oh, what's her name? Peg from Married with Children and Leela from Futurama. Uh, Kathy, I'm blanking. I apologize, but it's cool seeing her again, and she was great. And yeah, I guess the only nitpick I had is that they make it look like it's going to end. Oh, this would be a perfect spot to end, and then they go a little longer, and they're like, "Yes, we're going to find the One Piece after we drop by here and do this thing for this character." I'm just like, don't end on that. That gets me less excited for the next season. But that's a nitpick. Everything else about it, I really, really got into.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. So it took me 3 attempts and some edibles, but I made it through Kubrick's 2001. I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone who wasn't an actual movie fan. Where do you stand on it?
It's kind of a weird thing to say. It's kind of like saying, I love Beethoven's Fifth Symphony, but I wouldn't recommend it to someone unless they like music. Like, well, yeah, I know what you're talking about though. Like, it's sort of like a die-hard, like cinephile, kind of thing. I really, really like it. I think it's a brilliant movie. I wish I could say, oh, it's overrated and people are glorifying it for no reason, but I really do think it's fantastic. But I get people who say it is too long, it is too boring, it doesn't have to be this drawn out. I always very much saw it as the film is about evolving, and I mean literally. And I think part of the way to do that is to evolve the mind as well as the body, and that does come from quiet moments and meditation and feeling the vastness of both the incredible majesty of everything that's out there, but also just that empty void as well. And somehow the movie captures both of that, of just how grand and epic everything is, but also how grand and empty it is, and how intimidating that can be too. And I feel like so much of humanity is in that. So yeah, but I get people that are like, we get it. There's the ship. Can you cut to the next shot? I do understand that. But yeah, no, I absolutely love it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Korra, people were very mixed on what was done with Toph. What are your thoughts?
I get that. If you When I first saw her, I kind of went, not that I disliked it, but just it's not where it felt too much like when you have legacy characters keep coming back to bring in goodwill to something. Like that's kind of what it felt like. Um, but if they're gonna go that route, that's about how I feel like she would act, and what she would say and everything. So it didn't bother me that much. It still felt true to the character. My thought is just the character didn't need to be there. I was more interested, which now I feel like maybe we'll get more of this. Uh, when she wasn't young but younger, when she was an adult, when she was a grown up, whatever, in her 20s or 30s, whatever that was. And she's like talking to her kids, and she's like, I don't have time for this. I can't do this right now. And like, I want to see that Toph. That's actually the more interesting Toph. And we might in this new Avatar movie coming out. So we'll have to see.
Alex loves musicals. Thank you for the 500 bits. I'm so hyped to see the Hadestown musical Pro Shot this weekend. Are you guys going to be able to watch it? I don't think I am, and I'm so bummed about it.
Is it where are they showing it?
I'm pretty sure they have it at like a lot of the Cinemarks and stuff.
Oh, okay, so it's like on the big screen. I was gonna
Yeah.
say, is it like streaming or whatever? Okay.
No, it's
Um
a theater release.
yeah, I'm definitely not gonna be able to because I'll be in Texas.
Yeah.
Again, reminder, come see us at Classic Game Fest. But yeah, I'm not gonna be able to. And I've never seen the musical. I hear it's great though.
Ice Luigi Star, thank you for the $14 super chat. Any chance we could get an NC review of any of the Winnie the Pooh movies during the early 2000s? These include the Tigger movie, Piglet's Big Move, and Pooh's Huffalump movie.
I did Disney December on the Tigger movie, which has some good stuff. That was kind of a half and half on. I never did see the others. It is weird how many of those they made. So we'll see. Probably not. That feels more like a Disney December thing, but at the same time, maybe I'll do them for that for Disney December.
A lover of cinema, thank you for the 500 bits. With Brand New Day coming out very soon, I'm currently rewatching all the live action Spider Man movies just for fun. I rewatched Raimi's Spider Man last night, and right after this stream is done, I'm going to rewatch Spider Man 2.
Cool. Yeah. Hope it goes well.
Epic Kevster, thank you for the $5 super chat. How are you liking The Chosen so far, and how would you rank it among other Christian media?
I mean, that's again, that's kind of rough. That's like saying, how do you rank this among other action films? It's like, I mean, it's kind of rough. Even with that said, though, I would still rank it pretty high. I really, I like the, like a better way of putting it, the spirit of it. I really do like. I like the maturity of it. I like the playfulness of it, though. Too. I like they make Jesus is just a cool guy. That's something where I feel like a lot of adaptations do have certainly the love and the caring and the teaching and stuff like that, but there always seems to be like a separation between him and other people, which I get. That's in many respects kind of the idea, but I am more a fan of the ones where it's like instead of being that separation, it's actually bringing you closer and closer. You feel so close to this person. He feels approachable. He feels real. He feels like, something you aspire to be. He doesn't feel so otherworldly. It's like, well, I can never be that. It's something that you feel like you can find that kindness and that intelligence and that wisdom as well. And I feel like they really do a good job capturing that with the way he's written and the way it's performed.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, do you ever wonder why they never made Charlie and the Great Glass Elevator into a movie?
Uh, did I hear they were going to? Maybe not.
My understanding was it was Roald Dahl. That he so hated the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka that he was like, you can't make any more of this series into a movie.
I think you're right. I heard something about making a movie and something either happening or had happened. So I think you're right. But yeah, I guess that answers that.
TJ O'Donnell, thank you for the $20 super chat. Hey Doug, for
Thank
either
you.
live stream or Disney December, would you consider playing any of the Indiana Jones video games? In particular, The Emperor's Tomb. It still holds up for me and is classic from the early 2000s.
What's the one that just came out like a year
Great
ago?
Circle.
Yeah, that's the one I really want to play because I've heard good things about that. But with that said, depending on how fast Mouse PI wraps up, and when the Wolverine game comes out, it's like, okay, one of these I'm gonna do. That is the downside of gaming, is that they're so much longer now, definitely longer than when I was growing up. So, they do take a much longer time to do. But yeah, I like to.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In the Star Wars Rebels finale, what do you think of time travel being officially introduced into Star Wars?
I was okay with it. It's one of those things where if somebody says they're not okay with it, I would understand. But it's one of the few things where surprisingly they've shown a lot of restraint with that in Star Wars. I kind of feel like they would have done a lot more crazy stuff with it, and they haven't, which I actually do kind of respect.
Today.
And the way they show it was pretty unique. I like the design of that, whatever you call it, dimension or whatever in between worlds. So yeah, it didn't bother me. I don't know what the overall reception to it is, but if somebody was angry about that, I would honestly kind of understand. But at the same time, in Star Wars, there not being time travel, that almost feels a little weird.
Jace, thank you for the $10 super chat. For America's 250th birthday, how about reviewing two of the most relevant than ever before films at this point, Man of the Year and Idiocracy, both predicting America and society's future since 2006. Boom!
I definitely thought about doing Idiocracy. Maybe I will. I think I have it on the list because it's an interesting one to talk about, not for the obvious reasons, which is, a lot of this kind of happened, but because it didn't get very good reviews when it came out. And when I sat down and watched it all, because I only saw it in clips, and every clip was hilarious. And when I sat down and watched the whole thing, I'm like, kind of get it. I get why this didn't do so great with critics, even though I don't think it's like awful or even bad. But as a hour and a half film, it is a little clunky. Um, and Man of the Year would have been great if that's what they focused on, but it's mostly on like the thriller element of like the voting system and like this new machine that was supposed to count them, it didn't count them right and stuff like that. I'm just like, I don't feel like that's why people paid a ticket to see this movie. So that was kind of a letdown.
Organoff, thank you for the $2 super chat. JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Heather, my favorite scene in ET has to be the bike chase. What's yours? I think I would agree with that. I love the bike chase. Movie Lover, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank the following Disney films based on TV shows? DuckTales the movie, Treasure of the Lost Lamp, A Goofy Movie, Recess School's Out, and Teacher's Pet.
Probably Goofy Movie. Am I- Man, that's rough. Yeah, I guess I'll say Goofy Movie, DuckTales, Teacher's Pet, Recess. Going from the best downward. But I kind of, with the exception of Recess, which I feel like should probably be at the bottom. Um, any of the others, I feel like you can kind of switch out depending on the mood because all of them have kind of different strengths to them.
Metzlitin, thank you for the 500 bits. Good evening, Doug. I have a suggestion for a Disney December review of an animated film called Valiant that wasn't made by Disney but was distributed by them in 2005. For context, it's an underdog story about a young pigeon training to be a messenger pigeon in World War I. I would like to see your thoughts on it, especially since the villain of the movie is a falcon voiced by Tim Curry.
I've gotten requests for a long time, and I always have it on the list, and then something always bumps it, somewhere else. And I started to watch it. I think it was during COVID, and then just something else came out where I'm just like, ooh, I gotta talk about that. I stopped watching it. I went to that, so I saw like maybe the first 10 minutes of it, something like that. But you're not alone. A lot of people have requested it. I'll try to get to it this year because yeah, it's definitely one that people have asked for a while.
Exploding Donkey, thank you for the $10 super chat. I got drunk at Chili's while eating ribs and watching Austin Powers 2. It was effing awesome. By the way, my wife Lucy Lacemaker says hi. Just kidding, I'm a self-destructive a-hole who hates my life.
Well, what a bright future that awaits you. Hopefully.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Little Shop of Horrors, what do you think of Big Green Mother from Outer Space?
Oh, it's fun. That's a really a fun song. Especially the little singing plants, especially at the end where it keeps building. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, no, it's definitely very cool.
Wayne Kirk, thank you for the $5 super chat. Thank you for the years of fun and quality content. What kind of film with a Hollywood budget would you like to see with practical effects? No CGI.
Gosh, just about any film, really. I shouldn't say that. CGI can do a lot of great stuff, but we do rely on it too much, obviously. I don't know. Brother, yeah, I really don't know because there are some where I'm just like, I don't even know how you do that without CGI. You can't. I mean, doing Spider-Man without CGI would be pretty difficult. All these films, I'm like, wow, that would be pretty tricky. I don't know. I guess I don't know how much CGI was in the Matt Reeves like Batman movie or is going to be in the next one, but it feels like it was pretty minimal. So I kind of like keeping that going. Like they had to work a little bit more clever to make it feel like you were really there and the clever focusing and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess more of those.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. Heather, did you laugh when you saw Yoda appear on screen in ET? Not really laugh so much as like, yes, there's a small cameo. I get the reference, Kevin F., thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, Doug, thoughts on Sopranos? And if you haven't seen it, do you plan to?
Yeah, I saw it. I think like a lot of people, I love the first several seasons. Then somewhere it started to drop off, and the ending is very underwhelming. I give it credit that it's trying to do something unique and daring and stuff like that. It just didn't work. That wasn't the type of show to do it with. But yeah, no, when it was good, it was so good and it was so engaging and so fascinating. And the acting was so good and everything. So yeah, no, I enjoyed it quite a bit.
Jumpy Nedved, thank you for the 15 shekels through Super Chat. I've noticed you keep changing your opinions about your worst movies, except for number 1. I want an official 11 through 2 worst list.
11 through 2?
Yeah, like your 2nd through 11th least favorite movies.
I gotcha.
Maybe let's
Um,
keep it to top 3 or 5 because we're running low on time here.
like right now. I thought they meant like just do a list, like a video list or something like that. Yeah, no, there's no way I can do like another list. There's way too many bad ones. Well, I mean, like right now, I'd have to really look into it, but maybe there's something to it because that video did well. So we'll see.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, did Walter ever talk about why the 3 Power Rangers actors left over a pay dispute?
I feel like I've heard that before. But I can't remember the exact details, so I will bring it up to him and maybe he'll tell me.
Teo Rojulik, thank you for the €2 super chat. Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. How would you rank these Spider-Men? Josh Keaton from Spectacular, Tom Holland from the MCU, and Yuri Lowenthal from the games.
Man. I think I'll say the one from the games that mostly because we are finally seeing him as an adult, and that does go a long way for me. And Holland's getting there, so I'll give him second place, and then the one from Spectacular. But they're all good.
Elvish Ranger, thank you for the $10 super chat. If you woke up tomorrow as a movie director, which movie, past or present, would you want to direct and why?
Uh I always thought it'd be cool. The two that always jumped to my head, like, oh, that'd be a cool adaptation, is either The Mask, but do it like the comics, do it like a bloody kind of psychotic horror film or horror thriller, or I'd love to do Disney's Hunchback the stage show that they did years ago, with like half the cast of Hades Town. Actually, I think is in there, but yeah, neither of those. A, they would never come to me for that anyway. And B, I think they're just a little too hardcore for what the IPs are.
Eric, thank you for the $10 super chat. Doug, yay or nay? Commercials should be shot almost like artistic short films. I'm doing fashion photography, videography, and screenwriting. Also want to make movies. I'd like to hear your thoughts.
Oh, I have. I mean, truthfully, I think commercials should be whatever they want to be. Honestly, they are still trying to sell something. People don't necessarily want to see little art house films or whatever. They just want to hear a little jingle sometimes. But I like that they can be any of that. And when that allows one to stand out more than the other sometimes, and whatever wave is going on with people, whether they do want to see something that's a little bit more clever or they just want a simple jingle, I like you can choose either one of those. So I don't think it's one of those where one should be more prominent. I think it's more just what are people looking for, what'll sell the product, but what'll sell the product in a creative way that will put people in a good mood.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. It was great bringing back the big lipped alligator moment sort of 2 weeks ago. Also, don't feel whenever you call off streams gives me time to catch up on things.
We'll always catch up on things before you watch my stream. I mean, I am very important, but I'm not that important.
Teo Rojulik, thank you for the €5 super chat. Doug, what are your other favorite cartoons besides the ones you've mentioned, like Batman, Animaniacs, and Avatar?
Oh, brother. I mean, just look at any of those. I feel like a lot of them are up there. I mean, yeah, guy, you name it. Looney Tunes, Gravity Falls, X-Men. I'm watching X-Men 97 right now and loving it. I mean, I can't even begin to list how many BoJack Horseman, Simpsons. I mean, there's just a ton.
Biggest Smalls, thank you for the $10 super chat. Love your work. I'd love to see a review of Oliver 1968. I just watched it on a whim while I had nothing, and it was excellent. By the way, Papa is still stuck in my head even after a week.
Yeah, that is a weirdly catchy one. And it's always got, whenever I think of it, it's such an upbeat song, but I always kind of get depressed because I know what's going to happen after that. That is much more a hardcore movie than people think it's going to be. I think people always say, the consider yourself, but it's got some dark, heavy stuff in it that does not shy away from a lot of the really uncomfortableness that is in the original book. So I don't know if I'll do an NC on it because audio is a really big thing that's being copyright claimed falsely over and over. So I'm just imagining songs are going to be with that even more. So yeah, so probably not. But yeah, it's a film I do like talking about.
Gail Ramirez, thank you for the $5 super chat. One day stream Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight is a fun game and it's a love letter to all versions of Batman from the films, shows, and comics.
That's what I've heard. I do want to play it again. There's just so many other things that I want to play as well. So we'll see. But yeah, I've heard really good things about it.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Heather and Rapunzel's Tangled Adventure. What do you think of the first and last song of the show, Life After Happily Ever After? It's not my favorite, but I think it's a good way to bookend everything. You know, I think most of the songs in the series are very strong and good. Christian, thank you for the $5 super chat. I hope you review Record of Lodoss War for the anime that kickstarted the fantasy genre in Japan. It has a great animation.
I doubt I'll have time, but I'll keep that, in my head. I'll try to keep an eye out for it.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Heather, did you make it to DBZ episode where Gohan got married, and what do I think of Videl? I think maybe I did, and I remember liking Videl. It's been so long, but I like scruffy, strong ladies. Mr. Cool, thank you for the $5 super chat. Would you ever consider reviewing one of the Yu-Gi-Oh movies similar to how you did Pokemon, since it's the 30th anniversary of the franchise?
I don't really know. If I didn't know much about Pokemon, I don't know squat about Yu-Gi-Oh. Even while I was editing it for oh, what did we do? Was it Toonami? I think we were doing with that. I heard the plot being described. I was editing clips together, and I just already immediately forgot about it. So I don't think it's my thing. Even if I was a kid growing up, I don't know if I would get into it. But then again, I haven't really sat through a whole episode, so I don't know. We'll see.
KJK, thank you for the 500 bits. Hey Doug, I'm yet to see the Odyssey, so I can't say if I agree with you or not, but regardless, I'd like to thank you for being civil about this. Most of the other haters I've seen are just, oh, look at me, I hate this woke garbage movie. Anyone who disagrees is a shill, blah, blah, blah. That's what I like about you, Doug. You always try to at least consider other people's opinions, even when you don't end up agreeing with them, so thanks.
The nicest comment I got, because I was a little afraid of what the reaction to that was going to be. The nicest comment I saw was, "This is one of the few places I feel like I can come to and I can say I like the movie without being called a shill, or I didn't like the movie and not be called a racist." And that was like actually one of the biggest compliments I could have gotten. I think, especially just as a critic. I mean, just I don't know, a lot of things in life. I try to be objective, and I think that's a very important mindset. You can have passions and leans and stuff like that, but you know, you still want to say when the emperor has no clothes. You know what I mean? So I think that is something that I try to keep true to. And again, I even said when I posted on Facebook, I might just be in the wrong mindset. There have been movies I've returned to in a different mindset and I've enjoyed quite a bit. So, maybe one of these days I'll go back, revisit it, and be like, oh my God, I see what they're talking about. But when I saw it, it just didn't do anything for me.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits in Star Wars The Last Jedi. Which subplot do you think is worse? Rose and Finn at the casino or Poe's mutiny?
Probably the mutiny, because you're just stuck on that one ship and it just doesn't make any sense. At least with Rose and Poe, they're at a different place. They're traveling somewhere. There's space horses. I don't know. It was weird, but it's something visually interesting. With the other, you're just stuck on that one ship. So yeah, that's probably it.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat and C suggestions: Rain Man, Pleasantville, Big, Adventures in Babysitting, and Ferris Bueller.
I got Pleasantville on the list. What was the first one again?
I was chosen
Rain Man.
today.
Rain Man. I do like the movie. I think Dustin Hoffman got way too much praise for it, mainly because I think Tom Cruise is fantastic in that movie. He is so believable. That's probably my favorite performance of his. But I feel like that be mainly what I talk about. I'd just be talking about him in that film. So I don't think I'd add too much more to it. But maybe Pleasantville.
Hyper Devil Fangirl Boner, thank you for the 69-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Hooray, I made it to the funny number. Yay! Though, to be honest, I'm not quite sure what to do here. I've never really been good with this type of humor, so I guess I can tell a joke my friend once told me. What's the difference between a hungry woman and a horny woman?
Do tell.
What she does with the cucumbers she buys. Great. Great. Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen High Noon with Gary Cooper and Grace Kelly? Also, R.I.P. Brenda Fricker, Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2.
Yeah. Oh, well, Brenda Fricker, who I'm talking about now. Yeah, even though I saw her in very little, she was always very, very good. And no, I haven't seen a High Noon. That's probably the most famous of his movies. I have not seen. I probably should because I know that one's a classic.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, did you notice the different camera angles in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban than the first two films?
Yeah, well, there's definitely a different style, and it's funny because, like a lot of people, that is my favorite out of the Harry Potter movies. But every film after that is trying to redo that style. It jumps so quick to being this gray, I mean, beautifully gray, but just this gray gothic kind of world. And they kind of forgot, oh, we have like 6 movies left. Are they all gonna look like this because they all get darker? And yep, that's kind of it. So yeah, so I do like that one the most, but I do think it's unfortunate because that kind of set the tone for the rest of them.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have either Rob and or Walter seen The Odyssey? And if so, do you know their thoughts? Also Christopher Nolan tier list? I've thought about it.
Oh, oh boy, that would get some interesting conversations
Yeah.
too. Yeah,
I was
Yeah, for
frozen
sure.
today.
Rob hasn't seen it. I don't know if he's going to see it on the big screen because this we're usually pretty similar in what we think about Christopher Nolan stuff. So I get the feeling he's not going to be a fan of it either. But I could be wrong. And I don't know if Walter's seen it yet.
We're going to have to pick up the pace, sorry.
Yeah.
Joe Pat, thank you for becoming a member for 17 months over on YouTube. Welcome back, appreciate that.
Thank you.
Ever seen A Chipmunk Christmas? It was produced by Chuck Jones and it has some good animation itself, albeit with a watered down Elvin.
Yeah, I grew up with it. I actually talk about in the oh, was it something like the Christmas guilty pleasure, something like that?
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of Sam Neill Merlin miniseries?
Visually great. It's pretty bad though.
Biggie Smalls, thank you for the $5 super chat. How would you rank these? West Side Story 1961, Oliver 1968, Mary Poppins 1964.
Mary Poppins, Oliver, West Side Story. Just my personal take.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Favorite scene from Goodfellas?
Uh Man, that's right. Probably just the last bit where they keep thinking the chopper is following them. That's just so anxiety provoking.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, did you like the music in live action Alvin and the Chipmunks movies?
No, they're just generic pop songs, except sung by chipmunks. Just didn't do much for me.
Sean, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you watched the season of King of the Hill, and if so, thoughts?
I think we're about 3 episodes in, and so far we're really liking it.
Alexander Elwood, thank you for the $5 super chat. Have you seen the Blake Edwards film S.O.B.? It's the movie where Julie Andrews exposes a different side of her image.
I have seen that scene. I haven't seen the rest of the movie because everybody told me it's just, it's like nothing. So I never checked it out.
Sapphire Sooner, thank you for the $5 super chat. Could you do a food review of Whataburger in Texas?
I did it on one of the shorts before. I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Multi Mario, thank you for the 59 NOK through super chat. Hey Doug, have you ever heard of Death Battle? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it?
I think I've seen 1 or 2 episodes. It's a cool idea. I just never got to see many of them, but what I saw, I liked.
TJ O'Donnell, thank you for the $10 super chat. Hey Doug and Heather, have y'all seen the trailer for Other Mommy? It's based on a great book called Incidents Around the House, and it looks like a live action Coraline movie.
Yeah, I didn't know it was based on a book. That's cool. I loved that trailer. I'm excited for that movie.
DJ Andre, thank you for the 800 yen. I wonder if you would review the dynamic production animes such as Devilman, Cutie Honey, and Mazinger Z. Jesus Christ, Heather.
I usually don't have time to review animes, so it's unlikely, but I'll try to check them out.
Teo Rojelik, thank you for the €2 super chat. Krypton Future Media, thank you for the 500 bits. Will you be contacting Angry Joe while in Austin?
Oh, he is an Austin. Forgot about that. I don't think I'm gonna have time.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, do you think Tobey Maguire will be in Avengers Doomsday like the reports say?
That'd be my guess.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In Superman the Animated Series, which team up do you like more? Him and Batman or him and Lobo?
Him and Batman is probably better, but I love Lobo. I love it when they have to team up, the Alliance of Inconvenience.
Haunted Joker, thank you for the 500 bits. How about doing a Farley Brothers month or reviewing some of their lesser popular movies like Stuck on You and Say It Isn't So?
Maybe. We'll see. I don't know how it would do in the algorithm, so we'll see.
Larry Lester, thank you for the 500 bits. Will you also consider doing a Nostalgia Critic on Office Space?
I don't have the most popular thoughts on that movie. I think the film's just okay. I think it kind of gets boring in the last third. So I don't know. I don't know if I'd be able to bring that much to it.
Big M, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey Doug, do you think we'll ever get an NC review of The Adventures of Annoying Orange? What are your opinions on the channel and the overall show?
I haven't seen that much. I definitely recognize it. I see it all over the place. And I try not to do YouTuber movies. I think there's enough people always trying to rip it apart and everything like that. I think YouTube is still a pretty young medium. So not that other people can't. It's just not something I'm comfortable doing. So I try to usually stay away from them.
Grand Omega, thank you for the 53-month subscription over on Twitch. Welcome back. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Doug, you checked out live action One Piece Season 2 yet? If you have, what do you think of the fan favorite Tony Chopper, the blue-nosed reindeer? Fun fact, he's voiced by the same actress who voiced Floor the Bunny in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, okay. So she did do something else. Yeah, I loved that character. I loved the whole season. I thought his story could be like an opera. It was like so grand and depressing.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. In E.T., what do you think of Michael? I like how he isn't just the stereotypical mean older brother.
Yeah, I like that too. He feels like a real fleshed out, not just person, but you're right, like a real brother.
JL, thank you for the 600 bits. In E.T., what do you think of the scene when the government invades Elliot's house?
I love it. I loved it as a kid. I loved it as an adult. I love let's just get really scary for kids out of nowhere.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, do you and your wife watch A Haunting on YouTube?
She does. I can't stand it. I think it's so lame. And she knows it's lame too, but that's part of the fun.
Teo Rojelik, thank you for the €5 super chat. Doug, would you watch Digimon Last Evolution? People say it's like Toy Story 3.
Interesting. I haven't seen that much Digimon, so I'm not an expert on it, but man, I love that theme song.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think of The Bourne Identity?
I like them. I don't love them, but they're good movies. They're solid, thrillers.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, what do you think of Han Solo's death?
I thought it was well done, honestly. I still get chills whenever he just shouts Ben across the room. I mean, he just did that so well.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. Which Patrick Warburton character do you like more? Buzz from Buzz Lightyear of Star Command or Bracken from Kim Possible? Barkin, maybe? Barkin. It's Barkin, sorry.
Yeah. I do like Buzz Lightyear, actually. I thought he brought a lot to that character.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, did you know today is Robin Williams' birthday? What films of his do you like?
God, the ones everybody likes: Good Will Hunting, Mrs. Doubtfire, Fisher King is fantastic. There's a lot of good ones.
Movie Mike, thank you for the 500 bits. What do you think was the better Pixar film this year? Toy Story 5 or Hoppers?
Probably Hoppers, if for any reason, just the originality of it.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug and Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. How do you think they made the cereal scene?
I'm assuming they really made a giant, pool of white liquid and the giant, Cheerios there.
Teo Rojelik, thank you for the €2 super chat. Doug, what happened to Dark Toons?
I ran out of steam. I don't even know how well I do it now because the fatigue does slow me down quite a bit. So, yeah, that's what happened.
Teo Rojelik, thank you for the €2 super chat. Doug, have you ever been in a fight?
No. I really had to think about it. I was like, I don't think I have. No, I always manage to sweet talk my way out of them.
Argonaut, thank you for the $2 super chat. What's your favorite anime?
Probably a toss up between, actually, it's probably Cowboy Bebop, but Wolf's Rain is really close.
Okay, and we did make it. Sorry, I was getting a little frantic there. When I was like, we gotta speed up. We were 35 minutes behind, and I was like, ah! But we did it.
Kino's Journey, that's another one a lot of people don't know about. And they did it once, and then they actually redid it again. And both series are very good.
All right. Alfredo over on Twitch says, Disclosure Day or The Odyssey?
I'll say disclosure date just because it's shorter. No other reason.
Jimbo on YouTube says, "Hey Doug, will you ever do a top 11 favorite Looney Tunes shorts?"
I've thought about it because I do love Looney Tunes. Yeah, I might at some point. I should put that down. I don't know if I have like these top 11 lists. I'm like, I'm probably never gonna get to. In fact, no, I'm not because they're tougher to do now with the fatigue. They're really, really rough to do.
That Canadian fangirl over on Twitch says, "I watched your review of The Odyssey. An idea came to me for a new theme month. Christopher Nolan month. You could spend a month looking at Nolan movies that aren't the Batman movies."
Yeah, but they're also so long. I could probably get like maybe Inception. I could get a little something out of. I never did see Tenant, so I don't know. Maybe there's something there.
Brandstand Man over on YouTube says, "Doug, will you review Jack and the Cuckoo Clock Heart?"
I did see it. That's another one. I don't know if I could bring that much to it. I guess I could, but I also don't know how many people would click on. We still got to stay relevant in the algorithm too, especially for a channel that's been around for like almost 20 years. I mean, you think like, oh, he's been around 20 years and can talk about anything. No, actually, sometimes that makes it a little tougher to be relevant.
Biggie Smalls, thank you for the $5 super chat. Best and worst winners of the Best Picture Oscar.
Crash was pretty bad. And best man, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at like all the films that like that won it and everything. Now maybe I can do that while we're answering like the last few here.
Larry Lester, thank you for the 500 bits. Looney Tunes back in action, NC?
I did a whatchamacallit, sort of like all the Looney Tunes movies, kind of list. And I feel like I talked about it there. I don't know if I can bring too much more to it outside of that.
And it is 8 o'clock right now, so.
Right. Man, I'm having a hard time finding like, oh, what's like the best picture winner, man. I don't you know what? I'm not saying this is the best one, but I think Unforgiven is really, really underrated. And that's a phenomenal movie. And that's one of those people. No, there we go. Amadeus. That's my personal favorite.
There
Sorry,
he goes. He got it.
I was frozen.
But Unforgiven that just proves my point, doesn't it? Unforgiven, it's really underrated. Oh, there's a better one. So it kind of just proves my point. But yeah, both are very good. You should see them if you haven't.
JL, thank you for the 1,000 bits. Doug, I wanted to recommend Goosebumps Don't Go Into the Basement. Thank you for the stream.
If that's the newer show that came out a couple of years ago, I did see that. I actually enjoyed it quite a bit.
Okay, great. And that's going to be our last question here. So thank you all so much for being here tonight. We really appreciate it. I know it's been a little while since we've had one of these, but we're here. And everything's fine. But we won't be here on Friday because Doug will be in Texas. So
I will be at Classic Game Fest in Austin. Would love to see y'all. So come on by. Love to say hello.
So no stream on Friday, but Malcolm will be back here, here being Twitch, tomorrow evening, also playing Mouse PI for Hire. So you got double Mouse PI for Hire there going on. If you miss Doug, come hang out with Malcolm, okay? All right, everyone. Have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you so much for being here, and we will see you all later. Bye.
Bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.